Hey, Cowboys Nation! Today we are diving into everything you need to know about the Dallas Cowboys as the NFL trade deadline approaches. And let me tell you, the atmosphere around the team has never been more intense. With just a week to go, there's so much speculation about whether the Cowboys should be buyers, sellers, or simply stay put and focus on improving internally. The season has been a roller coaster ride, full of highs and lows, and one of the most pressing issues that has emerged is the performance of the defense. Fans and analysts alike have been debating what kind of moves the team should make, if any, and it is a conversation that brings a lot of opinions to the table. There is no doubt that Dallas has looked around the league, assessing who might be available and what it would take to bring in an impact player, particularly for the defensive line and linebacker positions. The idea is to get a sense of the market, understand who could potentially be added to improve the team, and weigh the cost versus the potential reward. It is a delicate balance because any trade involves risk, and the Cowboys have to consider not only the immediate impact, but also the long-term implications for the roster. Recently, reports have surfaced indicating that the Cowboys did make inquiries about several high-profile defensive players across the league. The purpose of these calls was to gauge availability and determine what other teams might be asking in exchange for their talent. This is a smart move, as it gives the front office a real sense of the trade market without committing to anything immediately. It is also a signal that the organization is actively seeking ways to address the weaknesses that have been exposed throughout the season. While some local reports suggested that Dallas had not pursued certain players, national sources indicate otherwise, which suggests that sometimes teams keep their true intentions closer to the chest to maintain leverage in negotiations. This kind of strategic exploration is part of a larger process, and it shows that the Cowboys are methodically considering their options rather than rushing into a deal that might not be the right fit. Jerry Jones, the team's owner, has shared his perspective on the matter, emphasizing that while the Cowboys are always looking to improve, they are realistic about what a single player can do to transform a team. The defense, for instance, needs more than just one addition to reach the level required to compete consistently at the top. It is a mindset that reflects both pragmatism and ambition, understanding that incremental improvements are important, but there is no magic solution that will instantly fix systemic issues. Jones has also highlighted that while it is possible to enhance the roster through trades, it is equally vital to ensure that any moves align with the team's broader strategy and financial considerations. He has spoken candidly about the challenges of turning around a defense mid-season and how the team must weigh every decision carefully. The challenge for Dallas is identifying players who are both impactful and available at a reasonable cost. High-profile defensive players are rarely easy to acquire, and teams often set steep prices for those who can make an immediate difference. While there are always rumors and speculation about potential trade targets, finding the right fit under realistic terms is a complicated task. Players who are young, team-controlled, and capable of making a significant impact are particularly difficult to acquire during the season. This is why the Cowboys' approach has been cautious, focusing on gathering information and exploring possibilities without overcommitting resources. It is a strategic process that involves understanding the market, assessing potential fits, and being patient enough to wait for the right opportunity. Beyond the trade talks, there are also considerations regarding the current roster and how the team can maximize its existing talent. Micah Parsons, for example, has been a key figure in the defense, and while injuries and other factors have created challenges, the team is evaluating how to best leverage its star players. Even if trades were to bring in additional talent, the Cowboys must still address performance and execution within their own defensive schemes. It is a reminder that football is a team sport, and while adding individual pieces can help, the collective performance ultimately determines success. In addition to the defensive considerations, the Cowboys have also looked at potential additions at other positions, although the primary focus has remained on shoring up the front seven. Reports indicate that the team has assessed players like Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson, though both situations come with complexities. Crosby is unlikely to be moved by his current team, and Hendrickson has recently faced injury concerns that complicate any potential trade. These realities underscore the challenges of making impactful mid-season moves. The team must navigate not only the financial cost, but also the health and availability of potential targets. The goal is to find a player who can contribute immediately while also fitting into the team's long-term vision. Another element in these evaluations is understanding the relative value of draft picks versus proven talent. The Cowboys, like other teams, must decide whether it makes more sense to trade for an established player or to invest in future assets that could develop into key contributors. This involves complex calculations, weighing the certainty of known performance against the potential of younger players, and considering how each move affects both the current season and future planning. It is a delicate balance, and one that requires careful judgment from both the coaching staff and the front office. Throughout all of this, the fan base remains deeply engaged, offering opinions, debating strategies, and weighing in on what they think the team should do. The trade deadline is a moment that captures the imagination of supporters because it represents the possibility of transformative change. Every call, every report, and every rumor sparks conversation, and it is clear that the Cowboys' approach to this season is being scrutinized closely. The team is navigating a complex landscape of player availability, financial considerations, and performance challenges, all while trying to maintain a competitive edge. Ultimately, the narrative surrounding the Cowboys as the trade deadline approaches is one of careful consideration and strategic planning. The team is gathering information, assessing the market, and contemplating what moves, if any, make sense for both the short-term and long-term success of the franchise. While fans are eager for bold action, the reality of acquiring the right players under the right conditions is a challenge. It is a process that requires patience, insight, and a clear understanding of both the opportunities and limitations that exist within the NFL at this time. The discussion continues to evolve as new information emerges, and the Cowboys' decisions over the coming week will have a significant impact on the trajectory of the season. Observers are watching closely to see whether Dallas can identify the right targets, negotiate effectively, and ultimately strengthen the roster in meaningful ways. It is a dynamic situation, full of nuance and strategy, and one that illustrates the complexity of managing a professional football team. Fans are invested, analysts are weighing in, and the team itself is navigating a challenging but potentially rewarding path forward. As we move deeper into the trade deadline discussion, it becomes clear that the Cowboys front office is weighing every option with a careful eye. The reality of NFL trades is that there are few guarantees, and acquiring a player who can make a meaningful difference immediately is never simple. Even if a target appears to be available, the cost in draft picks, contracts, or future flexibility can quickly outweigh the potential benefits. The Cowboys are navigating these waters with an understanding that the right move must create value without compromising the team's ability to build for the future. There is always a temptation to make a headline-grabbing trade, but the leadership in Dallas seems focused on measured decisions that balance immediate needs with long-term strategy. Reports and insider insights suggest that the Cowboys have been active in calling around, not only to explore possibilities, but also to gauge the general climate of the trade market. Understanding how other teams value their players, what the asking prices are, and where leverage might exist is a critical part of this process. It allows Dallas to make informed decisions and avoid overpaying for a player who may not ultimately change the trajectory of the season. In addition, exploring options across multiple positions, particularly in the front seven, highlights the team's focus on shoring up areas that have struggled. The defensive line and linebacker core have faced challenges that have been exposed in key moments, and finding ways to improve performance in these positions could have a noticeable impact on the team's overall success. One of the complexities Dallas faces is the balance between short-term impact and long-term planning. Players available in a mid-season trade may not only come with a higher price, but also with limited contract control, meaning the team has a finite window to benefit from their contributions. On the other hand, targeting younger, team-controlled players often requires patience and creativity, as they may be less established but provide longer-term stability. This balance is a central theme in the Cowboys' approach, as they consider trades that could strengthen the roster while remaining aligned with the franchise's broader goals. Every potential move is evaluated against the backdrop of how it fits within the larger picture of roster management and the team's aspirations for the current season and beyond. In addition to player evaluations, the Cowboys are also examining how any potential trade might affect team chemistry and depth. Bringing in a new player, no matter how talented, requires integration into existing schemes and relationships. The coaching staff must evaluate how a new addition will fit into the defensive alignment, how quickly they can adapt to the playbook, and whether their skill set complements the strengths and weaknesses of the current roster. These are crucial factors because even a highly skilled player may not have the intended impact if the fit is not right. The decision-making process involves input from multiple levels, including the front office, coaching staff, and even player leadership, all working together to ensure that any move enhances the team rather than creating unforeseen complications. Another consideration is the ongoing evaluation of injury risk and player durability. For example, some trade targets come with recent injury histories, which makes the cost-benefit analysis more complex. The Cowboys must consider whether adding a player who might be limited due to injury aligns with their immediate goals and long-term plans. This is especially relevant given the physical demands of the NFL and the risk that comes with relying on players who may not be fully healthy. Making a trade under these circumstances requires confidence in the player's ability to contribute meaningfully while minimizing disruption to the team's overall performance. The fan perspective is also an important part of the conversation, as supporters closely follow every rumor, report, and potential move. The trade deadline is a period of heightened interest where speculation runs high and expectations are amplified. Fans weigh in with opinions on who the team should target, how much they should spend, and whether bold moves are necessary to secure a playoff spot. This engagement reflects the emotional investment of the fan base, and while it does not dictate the team's decisions, it adds another layer to the narrative surrounding the Cowboys as they navigate the complexities of the trade market. Looking at specific targets, there have been discussions about several players who could theoretically enhance the Cowboys roster, but each comes with caveats. Some are high-profile, proven talents whose acquisition would require significant assets, while others are younger, less expensive options who might offer potential without immediate guarantee. Dallas has to carefully assess which players align with both the tactical needs on the field and the financial realities of it. A player who provides impact now but comes at too high a cost could hinder future flexibility, while a more modest acquisition might contribute steadily without threatening the team's long-term plans. It is a delicate calculus that demands attention to detail and strategic foresight. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are swirling around the NFL, and Dallas Cowboys fans might want to sit down for this one. The latest buzz suggests that the Cowboys could be plotting a blockbuster move to land defensive powerhouse Jeffrey SIMMONS from the Tennessee Titans. According to sources close to team insiders, Dallas isn't just casually sniffing around. They're reportedly considering a massive trade package that could shake up the league. SIMMONS, known for his relentless pressure on quarterbacks and ability to dominate the interior line, would instantly become the centerpiece of the Cowboys' defensive ambitions. After a few seasons of solid but inconsistent defensive performances, the Cowboys appear eager to make a statement, and adding a player of SIMMONS' caliber would send a loud message across the NFL. While details remain murky, speculation hints that Dallas is ready to offer a combination of draft picks and young talent that could rival some of the league's most talked-about trades in recent years. The Titans, meanwhile, are reportedly weighing their options carefully. SIMMONS has been a cornerstone of their defensive front, but questions about contract negotiations and future planning could make a trade more plausible than fans might expect. Sources suggest Tennessee might see an opportunity to stockpile draft capital while potentially reshaping their roster around emerging talent, making a deal with Dallas a tantalizing possibility. Of course, nothing is official, and insiders caution that the NFL's trade market is notoriously unpredictable. But if the Cowboys pull this off, it would not only elevate their defense, but also send shockwaves through the league, signaling that Dallas is serious about contending at the highest level. For now, fans and analysts alike can only speculate, but one thing is certain. The rumor mill is on fire, and Jeffrey Simmons' potential move to Dallas could be the talk of the season before a single snap is even played. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.